Welcome to the broadcast. In this episode, we're going to be talking about dreaming in Serbian language. Let's begin. I want to start by saying when you dream in a foreign language, there's nothing more profound than that. Think about all that has to transpire in order for your mind to be so heavily engaged and committed to something that it starts to dream about it. It's a beautiful thing. I really wish more people can experience it. If you have, I cannot wait to hear what you think in the comments. If you've dreamed in any other language, I'm sure that lots of English speakers who speak English as a second language have had this experience before. But there's nothing like acquiring a second language. So people ask me, what's the experience like? What's it like having a dream in Serbian? Let me just start by saying that my experience might not reflect the experiences of all. This is just my personal experience. And here's what the process has been like for me. It started out with no dreams at all. I was just trying to study, trying to get my declension patterns down, beginning to acquire proficiency in the present tense, listening to Serbian pretty frequently to keep it in my ear, and nothing was happening at all. And then one day, one fateful night, I had this dream. Now, I can't even tell you if the language that was being spoken was in fact Serbian. What I can tell you is it sounded like Serbian to me. But I would wake up and I'd ask my wife, who is Serbian, I would say, hey babe, is this a Serbian word? And she'd be like, no, it's not. So apparently I was creating gibberish in my mind that represented Serbian language. That was the very first phase of dreaming in Serbian. The second phase was actually hearing Serbian intermittently. So I would just kind of hear like little splotches of Serbian throughout the dream. And I wasn't saying anything and I couldn't really understand what was being said, but when I would look it up in the dictionary, words that I'd heard in the dream, or ask my wife or Serbian friends, hey, is this a Serbian word? They would all say, yeah, that means this or that means that. So I knew at that point that the gibberish that I had previously experienced in my first Serbian dream, or wannabe Serbian dream, was in fact actual Serbian in the second phase of the dream, meaning like the following day or following week, whenever it was. And by the way, if you're not having these kinds of experiences, perhaps you're not a dreamer, you don't dream a lot, doesn't mean you aren't learning. Everybody's different. Those are the first two phases of my experience dreaming in Serbian. Now here's where it gets interesting. In the third experience having a dream in Serbian, and I actually keep a journal. I call it the Book of Dreams, and I write down my dreams. It's just so much fun to do because my dreams are so vivid. But in this next dream that I had, I could actually understand the Serbian that was being spoken, but only in parts. So it was kind of like this. It was like, kako je bilo? Šta si radio? Pa kako si? Da, slažem se sa tobom. And I would just hear like little blotches, and it was a little bit muddled, the sound of the Serbian, but I could understand it. And I was going, So I'm actually identifying words now, and even little phrases and things like that. So that was really interesting. But again, I still wasn't saying anything. The next phase of the dream comes in, and I'm hearing the Serbian. There are more coherent sentences. I don't understand all of it, just the gist, and I'm kind of beginning to make my way through comprehension in the dream. And then for the very first time ever, I attempt to respond in Serbian in gibberish. I'm messing it all up. Probably the worst Serbian language you ever heard in your entire life, but I'm trying so hard in the dream to respond back in Serbian, and I know that what I'm saying is wrong. So I have a conscious understanding at that point that what I'm trying to say is actually incorrect, but I'm trying nonetheless. Now here's when the next phase of the dream happens. So maybe a month, 2, 3 months goes by. And this time I have a dream in Serbian. And again, they still aren't full coherent sentences in Serbian, but it's starting to get there. And now I'm trying to speak, and I'm actually utilizing what I know. And I know what I'm saying is correct. I have a conscious understanding in the dream state that what I'm saying in Serbian is legitimate Serbian. And what I'm hearing is too. The language is now alive inside the dream. It was beautiful. The stage that I'm at now is a level above that one. When I have a dream in Serbian, I actually had one last night. True story, I had one last night. And there was someone who was talking in Serbian. I began to respond back in Serbian, and it was a legitimate conversation going back and forth. I wasn't fluently speaking. It wasn't like in fantastic sentences. It was somewhat short, but attempts were made on that speaker's part and mine. These are imaginary speakers, right? The dream state's crazy, man. And we were engaging in an actual conversation in Serbian. I'm not yet at the level or I'm having fluent dreams in Serbian and just talking about everything under the sun, because I'm not yet like at a super advanced level. I say this to tell you that a lot of times your dreams are going to reflect kind of the journey that you're on in Serbian. They're going to be a reflection of the progress that you're having. They at least have the potential to be. If they're not for you, don't...
Well, I've never had a dream. I guess I'm never going to learn.
That's not true. Relax. Everybody's different. It doesn't mean that you're going to have the exact same experience as me. I would be curious to know, though, if you have had an experience dreaming in Serbian or in any other different language, what was it like for you? Because it was crazy for me, man. So what say you? What's going on with you guys? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you are learning Serbian, or if you are living in Serbia right now and you would like to be a guest on the show, we would love to have you. I personally would love to connect with you. You can connect with me on cam_the_broadcaster on Instagram, and just at Cam the Broadcaster on Facebook. And I would love to connect with anyone who wants to be on the show, who is a foreigner learning Serbian language, or who is living abroad or traveling to Serbia. Hope you guys enjoyed this particular episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. And please let me know what you think about dreaming in Serbian. It's a beautiful thing. The only way you can get there is if you apply yourself and continue to take the steps required to acquire your goal of achieving fluency in the Serbian language. See you guys in future episodes, and thanks for listening. Zdravo.